here this weekend to celebrate 10 exceptional years of Highlands. It is almost impossible to name the highlights over the last 10 years. You know, I can remember sitting on the bank when Highlands opened in March 2013 as a customer and telling my husband, gosh, I can't believe I'm not part of it, and giving the team a call, and a couple of months later joining the team, and then seeing the growth that the business has had here, how we've created something so inherently unique that brings so much joy to people, puts people outside of their comfort zones, and that's just not our customers, it's also our team. We've been able to create an environment where we can run our Ferrari Fast Dash, our Radical U-Drive, the Porsche Taycan Takeoff, simultaneously with our members on the circuit. Highlands is well positioned for a really strong, bright future in tourism, motorsport and membership. You know, Highlands has delivered a journey for so many people. We thought it would be a fabulous idea to do our very first 6-hour enduro race. So this weekend is a celebration of all that we've achieved, the memories that have been made, the friends that have been welcomed, all the tears, the drama, the suspense that the racing brings. It's no different to what happens off the track through the last decade as well.
Or like this, or like this. So welcome to the 10th birthday of Highlands. You know, it's a brisk morning, spring morning, and I've got up early to tell you this story. So the story started 10 years, or probably 11 years ago, but at a meeting in Millbrook between 5 guys, 4 of which had spent 7 years getting resource consent to build a racetrack on this site. But they'd run out of energy and enthusiasm and a little bit of money. They weren't sure what they were going to do. They'd had enough. Along I came with new enthusiasm and new energy and said, if you sell what you've got to me, I will build something that you will be proud of and we can all enjoy. And so 10 years later, well, 1 year later, we had built the first part of Highlands, started employing local people. We used all local contractors to build Highlands, which was a big plus. And then we started employing people. I'm not sure how many people we employ at the moment. It's probably 40, 50 maybe. We put smiles on people's faces. We enjoy ourselves whilst we're doing that, which is cool. And we've had some seriously famous people visit us and be highly complimentary of what we've got. And I'm just so proud. I mean, I didn't do it all myself. The team that built it, the team that run it are just exceptional people. And so I'm proud to be part of that journey with them. And of course, we've got the membership, which was a first in the Southern Hemisphere. Nobody had ever done that. And we did this membership model that has been uber successful. And we have over 500 members that really enjoy the facilities that we have.
When we opened, and I can remember November 2013, we said, judge us from this moment on. This is our stake in the ground. And we had Australian GT over here. The terrace was packed. It was our biggest event we've ever had. The support has been incredible, but it's not just the fans that are coming through the gate. It's the competitors. We've got our fan favourites, you know, Central Muscle Cars. They've been supporting us since the very beginning. The 1 hour, many of our members are part of that, plus lots of, you know, well-known New Zealand competitors that have come. They've made the effort to come and be part of our birthday celebrations. Aussie Racing Cars, our cousins from over the ditch, they're just putting on the most incredible spectacle. And then, of course, the 6 hour. There's some of the most well-known names in New Zealand and Australia on the racing scene here being part of the celebration. And then you've got to remember the team, the volunteers. It's the collective sum of everyone that makes it absolutely exceptional. And we're certainly living up to our 10th birthday celebrations.
All right, Tony, dig deep. This, by the way, is the championship trophy, the 6-hour trophy. Oh, jeepers creepers. Okay, here we go.
Perhaps, just perhaps, the crowd numbers are a little bit up because we happen to be giving away a Lamborghini.
The person who wins the Lamborghini Huracan is
Ivan Fahey.
Ivan Fahey. Now, Ivan Fahey, are you on the grid?
Are you able to come down to the grid? Okay, we'll see you soon.
Congratulations, you are the proud owner of a Lamborghini Huracan.
Thank you very much, yes. That's amazing. Tony knows me. I used to be a volunteer here for many years.
Oh, that's even...
That's very appropriate.
People can expect this weekend that we're going to push the envelope, we're going to deliver the exceptional, and normally a battle at the end that no one saw coming. So I think we can expect a lot more action, drama and excitement, and probably a few tears, likely mine.
Looks like the field is set, and we're not too far away then from the final race of the championship. The red lights are on. Can SVG get 4 from 4 on debut in the Aussie racing cars, or can Brzezinski fight back? Big things really do come in small packages with this series. They've been around since 2001, based on the old American legend cars. Now, built to be corporate ride day vehicles, but they quickly found out they've got such a great product that we should really have a racing series. And so we've got 40 of these things sometimes on the grid, putting on an amazing show. But what are they? Well, they're a space frame chassis with lightweight composite body panels over the top, similar to what we've got over here. So easily removable doors, boot lid, and front clip, which will expose a 1300cc Yamaha motor. Puts out 165 horsepower. They rev to 11,500 RPM, so you can really sing these things along the road. Adjustable front suspension, so very technically based geometry in these cars are excellent for learning setup for young race car drivers as well. With the racing itself, you actually have what's called success restrictors. So every time you finish inside the top 3 spots, they add a little restrictor inside the inlet port, which will hopefully slow the faster cars down, which means that we've always got exciting racing across the field. The entire car weighs just 500 kilograms, so excellent power to weight ratio. They're 3 meters long, but half the width really of a normal race car. So you can fit 2 of these on a single racing line, which is why we see easy 3 and 4 wide racing wherever we take these cars. If you come inside the car, you'll notice a 5-speed sequential gearbox and a very unique pedal setup as well. You actually have 2 brake pedals. It's kind of connected in the middle and it splits over either side of the steering column. So inside, it's actually quite spaced out and it drives probably more like a tiny supercar than it does a go-kart. Big mirror so you can see all the action that's going on around you. So very frantic little category to go racing in. It's much like Shane Van Gisbergen said, he's going to have his debut in this category this weekend. The racing product for the Aussie racing cars, as he calls it, is insane. But here comes the Osborne's car. Change for second could be on. Perfect timing for SVG. Cody throwing everything at him.
The Aussie race cars are the most fun category to drive in. I've owned the Aussie race car series for, I don't know, over 10 years, I'm sure. The fans love them, and the guys love driving them. They're quite economical to drive. Like most race cars, until you crash them, then they become a bit more expensive.
Oh, and contact. And around goes the 13. Oh, big hit. The 95 dives in. That's Nathan Williams. Crew go to work on getting this car fixed. Lightweight composite body. Whip it off and get it back out there. Get a nice shot of the 1300cc Yamaha motor and the radiator hopefully still intact at the front. They've got it patched up and got that car moving again. There we go. All in a day's work.
They're just great fun. And the guys that are driving them are just good people. You know, I find a lot of other categories have their lawyers on speed dial. You know, they're always chasing the rules or querying, that's not right, that was wrong, I was cheated. Aussie race cars, there's none of that. We just go out and the guys just race hard and enjoy the racing. And, you know, I can tell you, if you get a chance to talk to Shane Van Gisbergen is driving one this weekend, he'll tell you how much fun they really are.
The rain staying away just long enough for Van Gisbergen to win under green flag conditions for the first time. Shane Van Gisbergen 2 from 2 at Highlands.
Oh, they're awesome. I think Tony's done a good thing making these, and so much fun, so can't thank them enough for letting me have a stereo one this weekend.
Once again, folk, put your hand together for our 2023 Round 6 winners here at Highlands.
Central Muscle Cars, mate, who is not a fan of these vehicles? Beautifully built, prepared and fast, great noise, great look. It's just a sensational category that I am certainly a big fan of.
We're an old bunch of guys racing old cars, and but young technology, a bit like the drivers. Myself, I've got a 1969 Mustang. It's a little bit north of 800 horsepower, and some of the cars vary between the 1969 up to 1985. American muscle, Australian muscle cars. Great bunch of guys. These cars have got no aero. They've got massive horsepower, limited tyre grip because we're trying to slow them down. You know, 800-900 horsepower. Some of the tracks we're getting up to 270 kilometres an hour, particularly at Hampton Downs. Look, it's a bunch of pretty experienced guys. It's not the sort of car you want to get into without experience. Good team of social club type get-togethers. The category is run by a controlled tyre. This year we're running a Maxxis tyre, which is a great tyre. It's sort of bringing the class, I believe, closer together. I like it because we managed to get a win a couple of meetings ago on them, so they've got to be good. We've had up to 45 cars in the class. Currently we're running about 25 to 27 cars. We welcome other good guys to come and join us. You'll always be welcome. Like I say, it's a social get-together. And yeah, it's just a fantastic class. The Central Muscle's sort of been the hero class of New Zealand motorsport for some time. And we'd like to keep it that way with bringing some more men and ladies into the class if possible.
Checkered flag flies at Highlands for Nick Ross. Well, that was a lot of fun in the Napa. Central Muscle Cars putting on a show here for the crowd that continues to build here at Highlands ahead of the first ever 6 hour, celebrating 10 years of racing at this incredible venue.
So the actual design of the track is quite unique, because what the normal process is that you go to the FIA and get your track design approved. Well, we didn't do that. We didn't have the time for that. So we just built, myself and my youngest son, who used to race, you know, all over the world, we designed the track with an iPad and Google Maps. And we would Google map the corners that we liked around the world, and we would try and fit them into the space that we have at Highlands. And to a large extent, we achieved that. And what we built was a track that was an absolute challenge, because I actually didn't build it to be a race track. I built it to be a members track. And I wanted the members to be challenged a lot by driving around here. You know, we've had people like Mark Webber here who said it was an amazing track. Liam Lawson, who's very current, it's his favourite track. Shane Van Gisbergen, who's here, thinks it's the best track in the world. None of these people have been paid to say that. They all mean it genuinely, and that's obviously a massive compliment. Very loud. You know, you've got a racetrack, you've got to have a race meeting. So we created this 101 laps, which was about 3 hours. The Australian GT series came over, which is full of all the exotic cars. Come 10th year birthday, we should have something that's different. We didn't want to do another 101, so we thought, wouldn't 6 hours be a good idea? And of course, we had over 50 entries as soon as we announced it, because everybody wanted to do it. But you know, as time goes on and people think, well, how much is that going to cost and the car going to last? So we're down to about 20 odd entries, which is quite normal for a major event. The main element that was weird and wacky was the reinvention of the Le Mans start. One driver was in the car, the other drivers were running to the car, and everybody loved it, and it's still talked about to this day.
As a runner, grab that ribbon, make it incredibly obvious that the ribbon has come off the rear wing, and then your team car controller or team manager will then give you the all clear to leave pit lane. So communication key in that phase of the race.
Yeah, it adds a bit of a fun dynamic for it, and you know, brings back a bit of history. I mean, as a kid, you remember watching the old cartoon or whatever with or even the old race from Le Mans where they would run out to the car and jump in.
I'm 39 years old now, so it's going to be interesting getting these legs going.
I've done 2 runs before. It's not real fun. Tony's a nice guy for doing that.
Qualifying is unnecessary. The best qualifying is the runner that you choose to run to the car.
I can't remember doing a running race since I was in high school. Van Gisbergen's got the race suit zipped down, which is a Greg Murphy
style. You genuinely have to make sure you don't do yourself an injury here.
So 20 starters and riders for this one with a big field of cars, GT3, including the open class cars. Outside of that, we've got the GT4s and Porsche Cup cars. Tracy's got the starting pistol ready. We're not too far away from a start. We are running.
Race radio, green flag runners released to start.
Who's making moves early here? Looks like Pedersen's got some speed going early.
Johnny Reed's running in reverse, it looks like. They're blowing by him on either side. Here comes Shane Van Gisbergen with the Red Bull cap on backwards. Great start to this one from Sergio Perez as well.
He's going with the pack. He wasn't confident that he had the speed to run early. Damon Leach has got to the back of the cars first, so he's maintaining, as is Glenwood. They're maintaining their qualifying position so far.
Damon's done a great job to get there and get that ribbon off. In the background, the quick car already moving nicely out of pit lane. But the McMillan car first out through the pit exit. So great run from Glenwood, and there's plenty going on in the background as we wait and see which of the cars are going to get going. And that should be Patton starting in that car, which is finally moving from pit lane. And we are off and running with pit lane open. What a way to start, and what a way to celebrate 10 years of amazing history, just like we saw here. The very first Highlands 101 back in November 2013. And get ready to experience the exceptional here today. 6 hours of racing. We have no idea how this will play out with weather and strategy, tyre life, fuel life, the pit stops. So much to consider. We don't even know how many laps we'll get in as the fight for the lead is on at the front of this field. And already we're seeing some defensive driving as Glenn Smith moves across to try and get around the outside of Justin McMillan. Damon Leach is
out the back of the paddock. That's what I say. You're genuinely out of breath. And they've done well there. Only lost the 1 spot to McMillan, so Glenwood and Damon Leach held up their end of the bargain, that's for sure. This pack battling it out. 6th, 7th and 8th. Graham Smith's the fastest car on circuit at the moment. Now just eclipsed by Dwayne Carter, very fast, 33.9 from Carter in the Brabham, Carter himself's been doing a very good job. We've spoken a lot about the job that Shane Van Gisbergen's done in that car, but Dwayne Carter very, very close to the speed of Shane as well. So they're very happy with the performance of what Dwayne's done in this car.
That Brabham looking very speedy come race day. So keep an eye on this car. But can it go the distance? That will be the big question. It's fast at the moment.
One car that everyone is very excited to see this weekend at the Highlands 6 Hour is this fabulous, beautiful looking machine, the Carter's Tyre Service Brabham BT62. It is a tubeless base frame car infused with carbon fibre all the way through it to stiffen up this chassis. It comes in under 1,000 kilograms. It's got a Ford Coyote V8 in the back of it, producing over 700 horsepower. It was a collaboration between Pace Innovations based out of Queensland and Brabham Automotive. With the Brabham BT62 being designed initially as a track car with no limitations on rules, for this weekend running under balance of performance, we've had to make some changes. The first one being the minimum weight. We've had to add 250 kilos to it. Its minimum weight 1,250, and also there's some other small things that we're looking at to also restrict its performance, because unrestricted, this thing would be untouchable.
Yeah, well, you could say that, but we'll leave it up to them, to the officials, and hopefully they can tune it up a bit better for us and let us have a better go at it. The car in its normal spec is very light. It's 960 odd kilos, and that's how it's designed, that's how it's been built. The suspension's designed around that weight, but the 250 kilos of weight is definitely put in a different bracket of speed. We just love it. We've been doing it year after year. My brother done it with me for most of the time. He's since retired, so the likes of Shane, an old family friend, and that's coming to fill his boots, which isn't too bad.
Shane Van Gisbergen watching on. He's not expecting to be called to action just yet.
it'd just be good to beat some of the top teams, you know. We're just sort of a family team. Definitely don't do as much racing as the top guys, so it'd be good to mix it with, you know, Johnny Reid and Sam Fillmore have been winning quite a lot lately.
And this team, IMS, vastly experienced in endurance racing in New Zealand, come to Australia every now and then and run the Bathurst 12 Hour as well, so certainly one of the crack GT operations in this part of the world.
IMS Racing is otherwise known as International Motorsport. It's just nice and short with IMS. It makes the life a little bit easier these days. We've got 4 cars here this weekend, 3 in the 6 hour and 1 in the 1 hour. So we've got 30 staff here this weekend. There's a lot going on. There'll be a few pit stops. We're going to share booms. So one of our cars, because we've got 3, is actually sharing with another team. So there's different elements and things to manage all the way through. Really, I think we're all just trying to book a ticket to the last hour and see where we come.
As the 27 Audi comes to the lane. Just the 2 drivers for this car, Fillmore and Johnny Reid, who's there he is, suited and booted and ready to jump aboard.
I'm driving the Audi R8 Le Mans Series, number 27, alongside Sam Fillmore and the International Motorsport team. For many years I've raced, it's a passion of mine. I've done it at a professional level. And then I sort of these days I'm a family man and also work in our family business. You know, I've just clocked 40, so, but it's just gets me out of the office. It gives something, a challenge for me in terms of keeping fit, training and all the rest of it. But it's also the team base, all the prep that our hard-working team and a lot of these teams are doing, give us drivers really the glory on the day. There's so many people in the background. The engineers and all the team are equally as competitive and they want a result. So, yeah, as I say, it's a real thrill to be part of a team and trying to strive for the number 1.
Tony and Josie and the crew here at Highlands always put on great events, and you know, there's nothing like a 10-year anniversary to make it bigger and better than ever before. So 6 hours, never been done around here before, and lucky enough got the invite from Luke to come along and to enjoy the car and do some car racing.
Always been a fan of endurance driving, and finally got myself a car to go and do some, I guess. I'm here to have a bit of fun and also compete against the other Porsches in the class and hopefully wiggle our way to the front throughout the race weekend.
This track is it's special. There's not many tracks around the country that are like this. It's very high speed, concrete walls, very close, all the way around the circuit. It's a pleasure to drive. It's hard to get right, but very rewarding once you nail it.
Within the race, there's classes, and we're in the Porsche Cup, so against some other Porsche cars, and that's really what we want to try and do, is beat the other Porsche cars and then have a good result overall.
And here comes Ryan Wood off the bridge, up the inside. Does he get the job done? Yes, he does.
I think Dan is first on the hit list, so we'll try to beat them. Got him covered in quali. I think he's a bit old now. I'm just looking forward to, getting some laps in. I think I'm starting, so, hopefully we can get to the front when there's a couple of AMs in those GT3 cars and, see how we end up. I've raced here about 3 or 4 times now, so it's one of my favourite tracks. I'm a member of the club here at Highlands, lucky enough to be sponsored by Tony Quinn Foundation as well. So it's a real special place of mine, and just really enjoy coming back here, and actually my favourite track.
So Ryan Wood continuing to go forwards.
The last 2 years I've been racing in Australia and done really well, and this year I've raced Super 2 with Hawkinshire Andretti United, and everything's come together, and we'll be moving into the main game category next year and become a pro driver. So really looking forward to having my name next to some really special ones. Unfortunately, Shane can't be there next year, so it would have been cool to race against my idol, but still going to be racing against some really good guys.
So our 2 open class cars sit first and second, 15.5 second advantage. Van Gisbergen to Leach to Reid. Car 4 should have Andrew Waite behind the wheel right now. They're sitting inside the top 5.
Van Gisbergen, though, continuing on his merry way. Fastest lap for that car so far, a 33.2. There's a bunch of happy campers with the way things are going right now.
We're 2 hours and 40 minutes into the Highlands 6 Hour, celebrating 10 years of Highlands being in operation. 6 hour endurance race for cars is a challenge not just for the drivers but for all the teams so far. A lot has gone on. We've seen some pretty close quarters racing. The BT60 of Brabham that Dwayne Carter and Shane Van Gisbergen are driving has actually had some time at the front of the field and showing some really strong pace. Other GT3 cars like the one over my shoulder, the 27, Johnny Reid, Sam Fillmore are right in the mix as well. Damon Leach, the Highlands Pro driver, is aboard the 650S McLaren as well, running around the top three. So we're going through lots of pit cycles, lots of different strategies, cars with different tyre strategies, different fuel strategies at the moment, and we really won't know how it's all going to pan out for probably another two and a half hours to really get a gauge on where who is where and what we're sort of expecting towards the finish. So far, been a few disappointments already. A couple of cars that have had problems and spent a lot of time in the pit. Also a couple of retirements, and that's what you get with endurance racing. So lots to play out for here at the Highlands 6 Hour. A lot of pride to play out for as well. But so far, great day, great crowd, and some intense racing.
Martin Dippy, Hayden Patton and Ronan Murphy sharing this car.
It's certainly a bit different now these days, standing on the other side of the pit lane or outside the car watching Ronan race, and also my other son Cormac do some racing. Ronan's competing today with Hayden Patton, gets to drive with Hayden Patton and Martin Dippy aboard a 992 Cup car in the 6 Hour. An amazing opportunity for him to be able to do that while he backs that up with a season in Michelin Sprint Challenge in Australia as well. So, you know, I suppose with my stepping down with a bit of car racing, that time that I thought I was going to get is now filled up with my sons deciding they want to have a bit of a crack at it. So a little bit anxious most of the time watching them race, not from a safety perspective, just from a perspective of wanting them to do well.
We see Hayden Patton, talking to famous Kiwis, getting ready. Love the design on that helmet as he gets ready in the Mitre 10 trade car to go to work for the first time today. Out comes some fresh tyres for him as well.
At the end of the day, anytime I've got a steering wheel and four wheels under me, I'm actually pretty happy. This car's an incredible car to drive, and in terms of driving, it's pretty similar in terms of what you do inside the car. The biggest difference is getting used to using your mirrors and having other cars around you. Obviously, Highlands have supported us a lot. We've been based here now with our team base for 5-6 years, so we run our rally programs around the world here in Highlands, and having this facility on our back doorstep in terms of, you know, shaking down cars, testing cars. EV rally car, the first EV rally car in the world, was designed and built here. So, you know, Highlands have all played a key role in that. I haven't done a lot of circuit racing. We've done a few races here, more so on the TCR. As I say, it's a car, it's got an accelerator pedal, does everything in the same way.
What a cool moment this is for Hayden Patton. Look at everything that he has achieved since he started his rallying career. And
like a run here. This is new for Hayden, actually passing a car in a stage.
Said it was very quiet in the car when he's driving.
Well, he's got no one yabbering in his ear all the time.
There's another Porsche comes in as Courtney Prince goes to work for the first time today, taking over from Ryder Quinn in car 101 in the GT4 class.
I'm here at the Highlands 6 Hour in Tony Quinn's GT4 alongside Ryder as well. It's my first time ever at Highlands and I'm absolutely loving the track, and first time driving the GT4. It's a pretty cool car. It's like a mini cup car, which I race over in Australia in Porsche Carrera Cup. It's definitely something different saying that you're a racing car driver, and especially being female at first, sometimes people don't believe you, and especially because I'm quite small as well, they kind of look at me a bit funny, but it's something I've always done since I was young. It's all I know and I absolutely love it. The Audi?
No, Porsche. No, the Audi's the worst of fucking thing. He's useless. He's erratic, but John Lester is just...
TQ is awesome. He's such a good bloke. He's been supporting me for the last 2 and a bit years in Porsche, and yeah, he's an awesome mentor and I love having him around.
Ryder Quinn and Courtney checking the live timing.
The live timing going.
Seeing how his granddad's going, speaking of drivers with successful grandfathers.
So the 6 Hour is pretty special. It's a very special event. I remember the very first one when I was 8, watching all the cars go around, watching my dad and my granddad race. So to finally be competing in this race is pretty cool, and alongside my granddad, pretty special.
And here's Van Gisbergen leaving the lane, and no, it's not having an issue. We saw this when Shane Van Gisbergen climbed aboard after the first driver change, and then we saw it again with Dwayne Carter when he climbed aboard. Very slow and deliberate leaving pit lane and through the loop here. Not to stress the tyre at all through that long loop. And you see there now starts to pick up speed again and back to a more traditional outlap speed. Marcel Zalua, though, he's not in any mood to wait. Not a bad opportunity. He can put one on Shane Van Gisbergen here, and he gets it done up the inside. Crew getting way behind the line. And Pedersen off for his first laps in this race. So 2 hours and 20 minutes left, and Pedersen joins the race for the first time. And he'll look to come home as strong as possible to continue fighting back. Here's the 27, Audi, Sam Fillmore. He's out and done. Johnny Reid climbing back aboard. And here is our Brabham in the lane. Dwayne Carter climbing out. Shane Van Gisbergen about to climb aboard.
They've got the wheels changed on the 27. Away they go.
Shane Van Gisbergen now locked and loaded in the number 19 Brabham out of pit lane.
This is a car that is seriously lit up right now. The 96 of Ant Pedersen. They've completed their driver changes for the day. Only did do driver changes for the whole race, which is a smart way of playing the strategy. So Paul Pedersen started with a double stint, then double stint Marco Giltrap, and then double stint Ant Pedersen to the finish.
He is clearly the fastest car on track by a margin at the moment. This is actually to put him a lap down.
Well, yeah, timing showing us that this is to lap the 19.
Yeah, so there's an opportunity here for the McLaren to try and bury the Brabham for a little while.
That is Shane Van Gisbergen desperately waiting for tyre temp at the moment. And this is not the fight for the lead. That is the leader right there in the McLaren, but they are a pit stop behind at the moment, with John DeVeth doing this mini stint in the mid part of that race before handing it over to Damon Leach, who's their pro.
Oh, here we go.
And this is to put a lap down on the Brabham. Gets it done.
Gets it done.
This is tight. The 27 and the 888 cars. Around the back of the circuit. This could be for a trophy at the end of the day. Andrew Waite to the inside of Johnny Reid. Here's a couple of experienced Kiwi open wheel and also GT races. And this is real close, getting a bit of a side draft. Steering contest. Reid's on the grey stuff down on the marbles on the approach to the bridge. That was seriously hairy stuff. And in the background, we've got Van Gisbergen unlapping himself on the McLaren, and he's about to go into this fight as well. This is a 3-car fight for position now between the 2 Audis and the Brabham, with the McLaren due in pit lane imminently.
If I know Shane as well as I do, I reckon he's seeing these 2 guys up there going, that looks like fun. I want to be part of that. This car's a little bit off cycle with the rest, but
it's only got one stop to the finish.
Incredibly quick. So maybe they have played themselves back in.
By my math, everyone on screen, apart from the 91, which has 2 stops, unless they can magically get it in the fuel window, has 1 stop to go. So that 96 is in this race.
And just quietly gone about getting themselves back in the game. Marco Giltrap did a nice job mounting or beginning the fight back after Paul Pedersen had a great opening stint. And Pedersen, plenty of speed, just continues to be the fastest car on track. Damon Leach, though, helmet on.
Big waft of brake dust comes out of the front of this car. Thumbs up from Damon. He looks pretty chilled about the whole thing.
John DeVeth, what was that like?
Beautiful. The car was awesome. The guys set up a beautiful car. Thanks to Glenn letting me drive it, his wife letting me be part of the team, the boys. It's just great. You had to look after the car a bit out there on the rears. You soon knew if you overcooked them. You just had to take it a little bit easy. But the car was beautiful.
This battle, though, between Andrew Waite and Shane Van Gisbergen, just going up a notch or 2. Van Gisbergen just looking to find a way through. I heard him go down a gear here at reverse Indy on the previous lap to try and launch the Brabham out and get a run up the inside into the last corner. Wasn't able to get it done. It doesn't have the high-speed grip that the GT3 cars do, the Brabham. Doesn't have the same amount of downforce, so can't commit through the faster corners and then brake as confidently into places like this, the hairpin. This is where it's very strong, though. Off the hairpin in the run up to the bridge. And can Van Gisbergen get up the inside and get it done before the kink? And yes, he can. He does get the job done. Wait goes with him over the bridge. Does he send it? No, Van Gisbergen blocks that opportunity. So the Brabham getting back to second spot ahead of the two Audis. So our race leader, Anthony Pedersen, that gap just continues to open. 32.9 on the previous lap versus Andrew Waite's 33.3. So just not only have they built a race lead, but they're extending that race lead. So Chad, if your spreadsheet's true and accurate, and this car only has the one stop left to go, then they have played an absolute blinder.
And in comes Van Gisbergen out of that battle.
Okay, this is curious. To go early. So what they're actually trying to do is they're trying to get their pit stop done, but before a potential safety car.
Oh, we're nervous at the moment, very nervous. Car's good, everything's good, change field to the end. So it's race to the end from here.
And Pedersen and this team have played a blinder. They had a minute up their sleeve when they came to the lane. Fuel and brand new tyres. So not only have they played themselves in nicely, they've given themselves plenty of armoury to fight with at the end of this one as well, with a brand new set of tyres ready to go.
Nice job, Mach 1 Engineering, getting this car to the front.
Take your time, get the wheels done up. They'll make sure it's full of fuel, absolutely everything they need. They don't actually bought themselves the luxury of not needing to rush. So what do these two do? How do they play their strategy?
This race in the last hour is well and truly alive, and then factor these two into it as well. Where do they come out with their shorter pit stop times? 53 seconds to 1 minute back to the chasing pack. Target acquired for Shane Van Gisbergen.
And Pedersen has not had the rub of the green when it came to lap traffic. Van Gisbergen, we've seen him off reverse Indy there, punching it down to first gear and then driving it off hard, getting up the inside. Oh, and Pedersen, there was no room left there coming onto the front straight. So you want a battle? Here we go.
Pedersen versus Van Gisbergen, a couple of Kiwis at the wheel. Haven't seen a Brabham go 6 hours in a race before. This is really a car that's meant to go out and do one lap speed, braking and smashing lap records, but it's in the hand of someone who knows how to get the most out of any vehicle over an extended period of time. And it could be for the win right here with these two, with the three cars ahead of them still due a pit stop.
Oh, that is
timing
why.
of the 888.
That is why.
Incredible, this will surely be the safety car. And that's the class-leading Porsche gone.
There's the safety car at pit exit. He's waiting for the race leader, Anthony Pedersen. What happens here for Andrew Waite? Oh, no, he's trapped.
They're going to lose a lap.
He's going to lose a lap.
Safety car scrambling and rolling.
I think their smiles might turn to disappointment now. They might get a wave by here unless they've already lost the lap.
Yeah, there's the wave by there. Oh, there's the wave by there.
Nerve-wracking moment.
Oh, wow, they were so close to losing a lap.
Bill Riding is a happy, happy man right now because they are in with a shot here. They caught that at the perfect time. This is Highlands Motorsport Park. The 6 hour has come down to the last hour with the first safety car intervention coming late into the race. The leaders at the front of the field have taken their last service. They're good on tyres, fuel and driving time. It is a straight shootout to the flag.
Safety car lights will turn out and go this round.
And we will get the finish that we hope to see. Marco Giltrap watching on from the pits. His car in the hands of Ant Pedersen leading the way.
A great restart from Pedersen. It's not often that you catch Shane Van Gisbergen napping, but he did exactly that. Nice job as the rest of the field file through.
Oh, that's tight.
Oh, what happened there? So that's a change for the lead.
And it's
somehow Brendan Leach has got in the middle of it.
Happened after the bridge, and Van Gisbergen's got through. Trying to pick where the Lamborghini came from there.
How did all that? That was so weird, so random, because there's a lap car in the middle of it all. We picked it up when they were sorting themselves out off the bridge. Van Gisbergen crosses the line. 33.8, 33.8 for Pedersen. 33.2 Andrew Waite, 33.0 Johnny Reid. So still of the top four, it's third and fourth that are the fastest cars of that bunch.
Steve Brook in the foreground. Started the race today for that team. Passing opportunity on the other side here. Does Van Gisbergen go defensive? You bet. And on the outside, he might leave himself vulnerable here to Andrew Waite. Has he got the overlap for the inside reverse Indy? No. This is the risk he runs now. Any funky moves he tries to pull on the outside will just open up the door for the Audi.
Van Gisbergen's backing him up. He is backing him up. Slow in the mid-corner at reverse Indy, trying to create an opportunity for either one of those Audis to get around Pedersen. And then I feel like he's got the speed to drive up the road if he's got an Audi behind him as opposed to Pedersen. That's what he's trying to do.
After 5 hours and 40 minutes of racing, the 6 hour here at Highlands is going to have its grandstand finish. Van Gisbergen defensive over the bridge, queuing them up behind him.
Pedersen's got to be smart here. All Van Gisbergen needs to do is defend it. And Pedersen, he's not going to get around the outside. And even if it does, it leaves him vulnerable to Andrew Waite. So he needs to come up with a new trick. And you need to come up with a new trick and not tell anyone. And he's done it beautifully. And now hold Van Gisbergen out. Pedersen, nice move. And now cover for the run up to the bridge. That was beautiful.
Well, now we'll see what Shane Van Gisbergen's really got up his sleeve in terms of speed. Can he launch it off the bridge? Can he fight back?
He's let him go. He's let Andrew Waite go. He's let Johnny Reid go.
That is our 17th lead change of the race.
Some happy campers there. Mach 1 engineering team. International Motorsport team watching on. The guidance of Lyle Williamson. Their man Johnny Reid there on screen, currently third.
Race radio to all teams, last lap board, next time by. Next time the leaders are by, last lap board out.
Last lap inside the final minute of racing. 5 hours to get to this point. The 6th and final hour has been the most exciting of them all. It started with plenty of excitement. It's going to finish with plenty of excitement.
The 96 car was 2 laps behind at one point. And got themselves back in the game with no safety car intervention whatsoever.
All cars are to proceed down.
It has been a masterful drive from their 2 pro drivers, one being a pro junior, and that has been the difference here today. As Ant Pedersen and the Mach 1 engineering team claim the 6 hours here at Highlands, a great celebration in the pits. Final margin of victory inside a second, and that had a little bit of everything. How about that? Well done to Marco Giltrap, and that was a thriller.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so grateful for having the opportunity to drive here today. I've loved every minute of it, and hopefully we can come back and do it again.
Hell of a race, mate. What a way to win the Highland 6R.
That's so cool. All the credit needs to go to the team and to Marco and Dad. Dad did an unreal first stint, amazing. Double stinted, Marco was amazing. Team were awesome. Just so happy.
Short, bro. Mate, that was cool, mate. That was cool.
Not close enough for us, but yeah.
Just, I can't sort of express enough about how many people have put so much time and effort into this over a long period of time since this was announced, and thanks to the competitors for coming along and being a part of this. It's a huge undertaking for the competitors as well to come and be prepared for a 6-hour race. But after 6 hours to have 3 cars nose to tail come across the finish line, just phenomenal. So just epic job by so many people to make this happen. I hope that the crowd that enjoyed it, plenty of people here today, giving away a Lamborghini this morning. Well, what a way to start the race. All in all, I think it's been hugely successful.
You know, we've had an amazing weekend, incredible crowds, fantastic competitors. The battle on the circuit was on from the very start, from the runway back at the beginning, a whole 6 hours ago, to, you know, the last half an hour. And once again, there's something about this circuit. We never fail to deliver an ending that is worthy of the title of exceptional. So I'm just blown away. I'm so proud of the team, and I'm really glad it's over. Ten years is a long time to, you know, be in business and delivering race meetings, and we really wanted to show people that we've continued to be worthy of their support and that we're always going to push those boundaries. And today, just, you know, that grid walk with the choir and the teams, it was just, I'll never forget it. It's just something that will be special for such a long, long time. It's just been an amazing day.